Hi, everyone, and welcome. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention a few housekeeping rules. Please ensure your microphone is muted throughout the presentation. Please refer all questions to the chat box on the right. We will answer those at the end in our Q&A session. And please ensure to put in your name and email address in the chat box as well. We will send you all the resources that are mentioned today in this presentation via email. So with that being said, let's get started. Welcome to the Career Services in a Virtual World event. We'll start by introducing everyone. My name is Vandana Chattergoon, and I'm the CUNY Cap College Assistant at Career Services.
Okay. Hi, I'm Linda Chesney, the Director of Career Services at York College.
About that. I'm Dawn Demery, Internship Coordinator and Career Counselor, also at Career Services York College.
Thank you, everyone. And also Zach will be presenting. I just wanted to mention some points that will be discussed today. Thinking outside the box, unemployment, should you apply? Who's hiring during COVID-19 and opportunities through LinkedIn? First, we'll have Ms. Chesney speak a little bit about unemployment and thinking outside the box during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay. Good afternoon. As we begin to understand this whole COVID-19 and it's forever changing our lives, we have to begin to step back and assess where we are. We understand how difficult this time is for you, because for us as student support offices in the different areas in the different colleges, we've quickly had to adapt to this virtual world of work in a very, very short period of time as well. Today, our panel of career specialists we will want to share some valuable resources and also look at options that are available right now. And I know you want to know about right now. You're muted. Right. Okay. So right now we're in crisis mode. You know, we're all reacting to this whole health issue, the fact that we can't work, we can't go out, and that's understandable. But as we move forward and things begin to change, we want to have made this a valuable time in preparing ourselves for moving forward. And that is, I'm sure that employment and opportunities to gain financial stability is your number one priority. But now we're thinking if you're able to apply to unemployment insurance, this is the first time in U.S. history that they're giving the amount of funds that they're giving to support you, especially if you have children. So it is something to consider. So it also gives you an opportunity to kind of regroup, to focus on your classes, which we're finding, we're making calls to each and every student actually this week, and we're finding that the number one issue is the students are not feeling like they're getting the work, the virtual classroom concept, and they're concerned about failing their classes. So getting the unemployment insurance and looking at what that financial support can do for you may be the first option you want to look at, so that if you have children, you're homeschooling them, you have this time to take advantage of those opportunities. There is, we've been getting a tremendous amount of information from CUNY Central, and one of the things was about unemployment insurance. And I just want to read a few lines from the unemployment insurance page that you will receive when this is over. As of April 10th, New York State is waiving the 7-day waiting period for unemployment insurance benefits for people who are out of work due to the virus and are closed in quarantine, which is all of us. So what the Department of Labor they have launched a new streamlined online application system at labor.ny.gov. DOL urges New Yorkers to use this online system, which can handle most applications from start to finish. If you have begun but not yet completed filing a claim, DOL claims specialist will call applicants to complete their claims. Applicants should stay close to the phone, except to expect a phone call from them. It may be a blocked number, so that's the chance you're going to have to take. If you have not yet filed your claim, labor.ny.gov will direct you to the new streamlined program or application process. So that is one option that we feel that you should highly consider. The other, I have about 5 points. So the second one is that you should really assess the many opportunities to work. One of the things that unemployment is also offering is an opportunity to make, I believe it's $502 in addition to your unemployment insurance. So if you get a part-time job and you're making that or less, then you still would have an additional income to add on to the unemployment insurance. So you can work part-time if you don't do unemployment insurance, part-time, full-time, work from home. You know, it's a good time to reinvent yourself. You have LinkedIn as well as LinkedIn Learn. You have access to those programs on your on the portal on your college website that's free to you, and that is available by signing in as you would sign in on to any of the other resources on our homepage. It's a great time to improve your skills. The workforce is changing. The technology piece is very important right now. So if you could go and look at some of the career-related, skill-based learning tools, that will be very helpful as we come out of this. And we will. We don't know what it'll look like, but we will come out of this. And there are other options like working from home. There are a lot of customer service related opportunities that are available now due to everyone having to be home. So, do some homework, talk to us. We're here. We're answering our phones. We're answering emails, and we're just working remotely. We have never stopped working. If you didn't know that, look at our website. Our website has gone completely virtual. I even had a conversation with Zach, who was from LinkedIn and one of our speakers earlier, and he said he was absolutely amazed at how quickly the career services offices in CUNY and around the country have adapted or began to adapt it to this new way of working. And that's because career services, I feel, has always been ahead of the curve. So that's kudos to us. And of course, then there are internships. So Ms. Demery will talk a lot about the internship opportunities that we have that are available right now. And I know that Naima had requested information about internships as we were talking offline. So you'll be able to get some of those answers. And lastly, I would say CUNY is your college. And some students really only look at York as their college, but CUNY is your university. And CUNY has an enormous amount of resources that you can take advantage of. So begin to navigate through the system and look at some of the additional opportunities that, that are available to you just by being a CUNY student. So use this time to research all the wonderful tools and platforms that are available to you. Ms. Demery, I introduced Ms. Demery and her internship presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Chesney.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Okay. Hello, everyone. So I don't know if any of you guys have been in career services before or have seen me around campus, because I'm always around campus. I'm always going to you guys to let you know to come to us in 3MO1, top of the steps in career services. So one of the many opportunities that I push a lot are the CUNY internships. And CUNY internships, basically, New York City and CUNY has partnered to provide these paid internships for CUNY students. 3 requirements: just have to be a CUNY student, at least a 3.5 GPA, and able to work 16 to 18 hours a week. Not a lot, not a lot to ask. These, like I said, these internships are all paid. You can stay on these internships for 3 years or until you graduate out of your CUNY program, whichever one comes first. At that point, they'll actually hire you. And these CUNY internships are in all CUNY municipalities. They're in the Department of Education, they're in the Department of Transportation, they're in the Department of Finance. Any New York City municipality, you can receive these internships in. So at the end of this webinar, there will be a link where you can get the process going and you can apply for them. And again, I'm here and you'll have my contact information. For those who are currently placed on a CUNY internship, if you have not done so already, go on to your CUNY internship profile and RSVP, because on April 29th, there is an info session on how that hiring process pertains to you. So again, April 29th, RSVP and CUNY internships, and you'll have the link. There are also other opportunities. I don't know if you guys are aware that you have a free Cardinal Career Simplicity account, where you have access to hundreds of jobs and internships and fellowships right there at your fingertips. Again, the link will be provided to you at the end. Basically, you just have to complete your CUNY Simplicity profiles and you'll have access. Just yesterday, I was a part of a webinar, and this webinar talked about virtual internships. Virtual internships, it appears to be the way to go right now. Virtual internships, remote internships, micro internships. It wasn't until recently that I even knew about micro internships. Micro internships are a little different. They are project-based, and usually they are, they pair you in a group, you know, so they're short-term, unlike other internships that may be a little longer or whatever, but they're still internships. You know, you can still use any of these platforms on your resume. There are external employers that are currently hiring. I know for a fact, I've done the research for you guys, and there are links at the end of this webinar. Again, there's Columbia University that's hiring many jobs. There's actually the City University of New York that are hiring and have many opportunities for you. There's Human Resources Administration. Ms. Chesney, our director, she spoke briefly about New York City Department of Labor and the unemployment piece. But New York City Department of Labor, they're actually hiring jobs, part-time, full-time. So I would suggest or encourage you to take advantage of that. We have an upcoming info session with the Secret Service. If we were on campus, they would have been in 3MO1 providing this information to you, but instead they are providing a virtual info session on, again, many jobs and internship opportunities. Whether you have high school level education, you have some college, you have your bachelor's, even master's. There are positions that are in the White House or all throughout the nation. So these are just a few that few resources and opportunities for you. There are marketing immediate opportunities that we have. And again, we can speak more. You can make an appointment with me. All my contact information will be at the end of this webinar. So those who I haven't met, nice to meet you. And I hope to speak to you again soon. Thank you. I'm sorry. This is where I introduce Zach. Take it away, Zach.
Hey everyone. Thank you all so much for letting me have the opportunity to chat. Really excited to be a part of this. I know career services over at your college is just doing tremendous things, as I was speaking with Linda about earlier. Just the fact you're also agile and getting all this great information out to students so proactively is fantastic to see. I love seeing it. Anyway, my name is Zach Fiorella. I'm a customer success manager here over at LinkedIn Learning. My role is really to make sure everyone is getting the most value from everything that we offer, whether it be LinkedIn Learning, job hunting, and I work specifically with higher education. So very excited to speak with you all today. What I'm going to be covering is just a really baseline level about how, as a student, especially in these crazy times right now, you all can be leveraging LinkedIn to help build your professional brand. You really get ready for graduation, post-graduation, as we navigate these interesting times, how to use all the great resources that the colleges has offered to you all. So we have things like LinkedIn Learning. There's also additional features on LinkedIn that aren't so widely known that we'll discuss. A little bit about LinkedIn unemployment research and unemployment information. Talk a little bit more about skills that are really in demand right now. And lastly, how to just leverage it overall to get hired, get noticed. So that's what we'll be covering today. So I'm going to share my screen, and after the fact, we'll leave you with a little more information and some cool infographics that we'll send out after the fact. So, are you all able to see my screen? I will take that as a yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, again, this is going to be the student's guide to LinkedIn and how you all can leverage it and really get a jump on the market. I know things are tough. I also graduated into a recession. It's a crazy time, and we want to make sure that you have the utmost skills, utmost research, and ability to really dig in. So again, we're going to cover a little bit about building your professional brand. LinkedIn is somewhat different from your professional resume, where we want to make sure that you are bolstering all your best skills, you're telling your career story, you're leveraging LinkedIn Learning, so you can really bolster your current skill sets and get ready for future, and then get hired. So around building your professional brand, this is going to take you to get noticed for your future boss, for recruiters, for peers. So we do know that most of jobs nowadays are filled through referrals. That doesn't necessarily mean knowing, having a direct friend, family member who works there, but really networking. And the earlier you can start building your professional network and ramping up those networking skills, the better off you're going to be in the long term, whether it be, navigating the situation right now for internships, for, graduating your first role, or down the line. There's a lot of great things you could do to start building your professional network and networking skills earlier on. So 9 out of 10 companies you recruit on LinkedIn, all the Fortune 500 too. So really, it's an incredible tool to bolster. So how are we going to do that? And we're not going to get too in depth today just because of time constraints, but we'll send out some infographics a little bit after this so you have more information there. But the 5 must-have in your LinkedIn profile, if we're going to condense it to just that, is info on your education, a great photo, info on your experience, volunteer experience, and your skills. And these are 5 really important things, because when recruiters go to search for people and search for candidates to fill those critical job roles, these are the types of filters they're going to be looking at. If we want to get further into the fact, then creating a good headline that's captivating, creating a great summary that isn't too long, but just definitely starts to tell your career history. But if we're going to 5 must-haves, it's going to be these 5 right here. And again, we do know that most managers, most hiring managers, almost all recruiters do look at a candidate's profile on LinkedIn. So we want to make sure that that's telling your story in the best way possible. So we think about your education, obviously post your either your expected graduation, what you've done. If you want to post any great projects or classes that you did, fantastic. Again, remember to keep it consumable. You are selling your brand, you're selling yourself, but make sure you're highlighting all the best things. So if you have a fantastic GPA, post that. If you double major, what have you, make sure you're highlighting those things. Around photo, have a great professional photo, just yourself. You see that profiles with photos have 50 times better chance at getting looked at than profiles that don't. So make sure you do. Again, great photo. You don't necessarily need a professional headshot anymore. iPhones have great cameras, so have a friend take a great picture, smiling face on a neutral background. And then when it comes to experience and volunteer experience, this is where students can get a little tripped up. With experience, the thing I like to say is all experience is relevant experience. No matter what kind of roles you've done, if you are trying to get a corporate type job, that's a sales job, let's say hypothetically, and you were a bartender prior, that's great experience because that builds up your soft skills. So make sure you're highlighting all that great past experience that you have that you might not have thought that actually translates. It really does, because all experience is relevant experience. It's just how you talk about it. There's lots of soft skills that are very, very, very transferable. So I want to make sure we're, again, highlighting those. And let's say you don't have any actual professional experience. If you have a lot of great volunteer experience, make sure you're highlighting those. If you were in a club, if you were in a leadership role especially, make sure you're highlighting all those accomplishments because they're going to be really impactful to tell your professional story. And then the last thing we want to highlight is skills. On LinkedIn, make sure you're highlighting all the skills you have. You can get endorsed by others for skills, and that's a great way to start networking a little bit. You can get referrals from others, and you can write referrals for others as well. So make sure you're bolstering that. On LinkedIn right now, for a subset of skills, mostly technical skills, you can actually take tests and certify that you are a LinkedIn, or you are certified for that type of skill set on technology, and it's going to help recruiters find you that much quicker and that much better. So make sure you're highlighting those. And on the topic of skills, when we look into some of the most in-demand soft skills for 2019, so these are transferable ones that are going, could be really applied to any type of role. We see creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and time management as the big 5 most in-demand soft skills. So as we're thinking about, if you haven't necessarily written your resume yet or built your LinkedIn profile yet, make sure you're thinking about them from this angle. How are you showcasing that you have creative skills? How are you showcasing that you're a great collaborator and you're adaptable? So lots of great things there. If you have any questions, definitely type them into the chat box. Happy to answer them. But again, lots of organizations are looking for people that have these skills, and these are things that's not easily automatable. They're things that they really are looking for. If we look at most in-demand hard skills, these are going to be really around AI, computing technologies, UI design, UX design, people management. A lot of these really analytical skills that, again, you could definitely want to take. And there's lots of great ways to do this. Obviously, at college, there's going to be a ton of great courses that have things around this, but there's just such a wealth of information and a wealth of things that organizations are looking for. If you're looking, for career changes or you're looking for other skills that you want to master, especially right now while we're all home, locked away, take some time, start, prepping for what you want to learn next, what you want to do. Again, I know it's a tough time for all of us and just getting through, but there's lots of great things we can do. So a little bit of how you can actually master some of these soft skills, some of these technical skills, is through some great LinkedIn learning courses. LinkedIn Learning is an online platform. It has a ton of content out there. It's all produced in-house. It has a great learner experience and a lot of insights. When you go in, it's going to start recommending content based off of your interests and based on what's in demand in the job market. And the fantastic thing is your college provides it, or York provides it for everyone. So everyone on campus has access to LinkedIn Learning. So once you log into the platform, you're going to see a couple things. It's going to ask you if you want to connect your LinkedIn profile to your LinkedIn Learning account. That is not mandatory. It's I would encourage it just because it's going to give you better recommendations, better things that are more relevant to you that you're going to be really interested in. Again, this is all great content that you could just search for. It's a huge library full of technical skills, soft skills, business skills, creative skills, that you just go in I recommend digging through the platform itself. Virtually anything that you want to learn is going to be on there. It even gets into things like if you right now, I know again, times are tough. It's a unique, challenging experience for everyone, and that could weigh pretty heavily. So there's great courses on mental agility, facing challenging time. There's another great course, there's a great learning path actually that we launched recently on navigating uncertain times in a job market. So lots of great stuff. I would highly recommend digging through some content, watching. What you can actually do once you get into the platform is start searching for courses. And when you find a course, you'll see, what's in your learning history, what's been recommended from your, what's in progress, things like that. And once you actually are able to find a course, watch it, you could join the Q&A feature, because we do know people learn in different ways. And then you could share your skills, share your credentials on LinkedIn. You could post it to your LinkedIn profile. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but you'll get a credential certification, and then it's going to highlight any skills that are associated with that. And then you can add it to your profile. You don't necessarily have to add it to your profile. And digging through, there's actually a lot of certification prep courses. So if you're prepping for AWS certifications or project management certification or a SHRM certification for HR, or if you're a CPA, so on and so forth, there's lots of certification prep courses ratified by those organizations. So you're not necessarily having to go out and spend money on these courses. You can get all that information right here online. Again, you just want to make sure you're equipping yourself. There's tens of thousands of courses on here, tens of thousands of different types of learning paths that you can find. You just want to make sure you're going through. And again, your college definitely has access to this. If you go in, you can search for it on your website. You'll find this page. I just click into as a student. If you want to activate your account, and once you activate it, again, you can connect your account or not. And then you just log in with your credentials, and you'll be able to get right in and dig through the platform and really see what's out there. And your career services team has put together some fantastic resources for students. So I recommend digging through the site a little bit. Again, they've already did some of the legwork for you all to find the most skills that companies are looking for, how to find a job, what resources you might need to navigate today. Lots of great courses. It looks like somebody has a question on certifications. Yes, absolutely. So all the certification prep courses are free. Every course on LinkedIn Learning is all included, so there's no additional cost associated with any of it. So the certification prep courses, and actually if you already have a certification like SHRM or a CPA or what have you, you can actually take continuing education credit courses to keep your certification up to date and not have to spend any extra money. And if you're having trouble digging through that, there's a filter on the left-hand side when you're searching through content to search through those specific certification prep courses. So a little bit about how to get prepared, and let me know how I'm doing on time. But there's lots of things you can do. The four most important things to do with job hunting and just how to get hired. And right now, again, I know it's a crazy time, and if you're doing some of these steps to prep yourself for down the line, to really find roles and you get noticed by recruiters or organizations, these are some great steps to take to just bolster your networking or your network overall. So I don't want to follow companies you're interested in. I want to explore jobs. That you can do that by searching your set preferences. You can create job alerts. So let's say there's an organization you're really interested in working for, and there's no open roles right now for what you want to do. You can create an alert, and that way when a job role opens up for that specific role, you'll get an alert, you'll get an email, alert in LinkedIn saying this role just opened, and you could go click in and be one of the first applicants and give you the best chance of getting hired. Looks like we have another question came in. If a student graduated last year, will they still be able to use LinkedIn Learning for free? As it happens, no, this is reserved strictly for current students and faculty. You can absolutely get a LinkedIn Learning premium account with a lot of extra features, and LinkedIn Learning comes with that. One of the things I want to highlight is that referrals are the best way to get into the door. So referrals are the best way to get into any organization. We see that 85% of jobs are filled through employee referrals. It's the #1 way organizations get talent and retain talent. So with that, again, you're not going to necessarily know everybody who works in organizations that you're interested in, but it's a great way to start networking. Reach out to alumni, reach out to friends, family members, build up your networks. You can have that chance to speak with them, engage with them, ask them questions about what's going on in the organization, how they like the role, show genuine interest to help build up your network. And one way you could do that is by using the alumni tool in LinkedIn. This isn't part of LinkedIn Learning, this is LinkedIn. If you go to the York College website in LinkedIn, there's an alumni tab on the left-hand side. You'll see it. When you click it, you'll be able to see where people live, where they work, what they do, and you can filter for what year they started in, what year they ended in, and dig through and really find those exact people you want to speak with and start networking with them. We find that alumni are really open to speaking with, prospective graduates, current students. So definitely reach out to them and start building your network that way. Ask them about, how they got into their role, build up that network with them. Again, you want to tap your connections. So why is really just your work for those roles that you're interested in, and they want to connect with people who like the same things that they do. So what this say is you really just want to ask say who you are, ask a little bit about how they can help you, and speak to really how you came across their profile, and just show genuine interest in those people, and they are really receptive. And then again, add some alerts to roles you're interested in, follow companies, learn about what's out there just by browsing job descriptions, finding who's there, learn about the company culture, and so on like that. One of the things you can actually do that we see in people who get offers is following companies. So by following companies, you show a genuine interest in that organization, and they're going to be more inclined to look at your role. There's actually a filter on LinkedIn for recruiters to speak with people who are following their organization. So again, that's just another great way. So if you identify organizations that you're interested in, start following their companies. Again, we want to set up job alerts, and that's pretty easily done by searching for the role here in the part of in the city you want, or just if you don't want to filter for city, you don't have to do that. And then set the filter and start saving jobs. And if the more jobs you save, the more the system's going to know what kind of stuff you're interested in and start recommending content, recommending roles for you. And then again, just want to make sure we're following companies, following influencers, and following any industry that you might be interested in. It's just going to, again, help bolster your profile, make recruiters more interested in speaking with you because they know what you're interested in. And with that, again, dream jobs closer than you think. I know this is a really unique time. So any resources we can have to provide, I'm happy to help. Again, I do recommend checking out linkedin.com/unemployment. If I know we were speaking about that earlier. New York is not part of that beta test yet. What we can actually do, if you apply through roles through LinkedIn, it'll log that in a PDF type format for you, so you have all the filters there. So when you speak with the unemployment office and are discussing, I've been applying for these roles, you can actually just show them the PDF that LinkedIn creates for you. And I guess with that, any additional questions? I know I went through some of this kind of quick.
Zach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that you said that the students who have graduated are not eligible, but I just wanted to indicate, because there's one student I know that's on who graduated last year. We're working on seeing if we can get the Alumni Association to put the cost for students who are out 1 year or 2 years. Do you think that's a possibility as part of a contract?
Yes, definitely. That's something we do with some other organizations, and happy to discuss that offline.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. If you can hang around, that'll be good. We're going to continue and then have questions at the end.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farrella. A few additional things I wanted to mention as an alumni from York College and also a current CUNY student at Queens College. I am a CUNY CAP college assistant, and what exactly is a CUNY CAP and what is the CUNY CAP program? Well, it's a program for graduate students pursuing a master's degree in a CUNY school. This program pays for 2 classes per semester. That's for the fall and spring and places you in a CUNY office that is hiring to work 225 hours per semester. Again, that's for the fall and spring semester. This program allows you to obtain your master's debt-free. So talk about thinking outside the box. This is definitely an option. Some qualifications are you have to have a bachelor's degree from a CUNY college and you must be enrolled as a matriculated student in a CUNY graduate program. Supporting documents you might need is 2 letters of recommendations, your resume and proof of undergrad graduation, also proof of enrollment in a CUNY graduate program. To apply, you would have to send your application and supporting documents to cunycap@cuny.edu. I believe the fall 2020, spring 2021 application will be available May 1st, 2020. So keep posted for that. The link to the website will be sent in the email that we're sending after this webinar. Another thing pertaining to LinkedIn, immediate jobs are available by searching LinkedIn for 3 of the following hashtags. There's hashtag coronavirus hiring, hashtag hiring now, and hashtag open positions. Lastly, Ms. Demery mentioned some great internships. It's important to keep your eye on the prize, especially during these troubling times. I'm currently working at the Department of Transportation as an intern, and I'm interning virtually. So what exactly am I doing? Am I doing virtually? Well, that means meetings are done through web conferencing, and the work that's given to you has to be emailed to your boss by the end of the day, and then he gets back to you with different critiques. Working at the Department of Transportation, I currently work with the content that you see on the 311 online page. So I work with writing that content, making changes to that content. And I also analyze data to see how certain services are being used that are put forth by the city. I must mention that this internship couldn't have been possible without Career Services placing me. And being a library science student, I never thought there was an internship in another place other than a library. And I was very surprised when I got something as great as the Department of Transportation. So definitely take advantage of these great opportunities. So I hope this has all been helpful and enlightening for everyone, but we've given you all these great resources. So where do you get started from here? So first, you're going to upload your resume on the Career Services website, and your username is your Employee ID. And if it's your first time signing in, you would have to click Forget Password, and then you'll be able to reset your password. So after you've uploaded your resume to our website, we'll be able to look at your resume, and once it's approved, you'll be able to apply to the great internships and jobs we've mentioned today and other great internships and jobs that are currently hiring. So with that being said, we'll look at your questions and the Q&A session will begin.
Anyone verbalize any questions if you don't want to put it in the chat box?
Niana has a question. Niana, can you hear?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
I
you have
can
a question.
hear. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You're
Okay,
coming
I'm
across.
sorry. I think I was having connection issues. It says it's fine now. Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, Everything's good. I see me a little choppy. Is it okay?
Yes.
You're coming across. Your voice is
Okay,
coming
so
across.
I'm actually in a dire situation. I am a senior. Okay, I'm a senior expected to graduate after summer 2020. I have only 2 classes remaining. One of them includes internship. However, due to COVID-19, it is extremely hard to find a virtual journalism internship. So that's really what I'm dealing with now. I would really like to speak with someone more one-on-one, maybe work with them to ensure that I can find something for the summertime. In order for me to even be registered for field work, in order for me to even be registered for graduation, I need this internship. So, is there anything else that I can do? I have been working on my resume. I do need someone desperately to look it over and to approve it so I can upload it onto the York College internship website.
I'm sure Ms. Demery will answer you thoroughly. I just wanted to ask you, how soon do you need to have that internship in order to register for the class?
Just as long as it's before summer 2020, before the classes start, being that everything has happened with COVID and making things so much harder, I do understand that my professors or the journalism professors are being a little bit more lenient. So as long as I have that before the class, but preferably sooner than possible. However, my journalism um, professors are making it seem as if it's almost impossible, and they're trying to pretty much suggest that I come back for fall 2020 for only two classes, one including field um, field work. So that's why I'm looking for outside sources such as the actual career services, because they're not actually being as helpful as I would expect them to be on this situation.
On, do you have any comments on that?
Uh, I would say let's start by getting your resume uploaded because we don't want your resume to delay it any longer. That's for sure. So once we can get your resume, get some eyes on it, approve it, that won't be the issue. And how does virtual internships or remote internships work for you? I mean, is your environment, would your environment be conducive to that
Yes,
placement?
I would definitely be able to. I know I had the baby today, but that's only because I'm normally in class. But if I needed to go separate and have my space, I am more than welcome to. I definitely have the accessibility.
Okay, that's good. And uh what I was going to say also. Okay, so you are due to graduate in May or in December?
Summer.
So, and they would allow me to graduate if it was regular. They would have allowed me to graduate in May, just expecting to come back and complete those two classes in the summertime.
Okay. And can you count any volunteer as your hours? A volunteer placement? Just curious.
So I will double check that, but what I know from the requirements is that it has to be work for credit, and it has to be 100 hours. So they went as far as being as lenient to say that we could even just shadow someone, and that would count as our internship.
Okay.
I would like to suggest that Ms. Dimri and you talk offline because we are available for, call-ins. If you would email her or email the
Beautiful.
career at York with the details, then she'll get back to you because there's a lot, sounds like there's a lot of things, still questions. Like for instance, the credit. Is that credit that the department is going to give you or you're looking for an internship credit from somewhere else? I'm asking you that question.
Um, So I don't really understand how it's going to work. I just know that they claim that it has to be work for credit. And I have seen on some internship applications where they literally say that it must be for credit work. So I believe our department will count it as credit.
Okay, so that's an offline conversation, but we will answer your question, and I suggest that you do it ASAP. Because you keep saying the summer is here. Summer is already, we're almost like at the end of the semester. What's the last day of classes? What's the last day
14th.
of classes? May
So I'm
14th.
desperate.
Yes. So in the
14th.
next 2 weeks,
Yes.
that should be happening. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. I see Vandana, there's another question.
Yeah, I see a question about resumes and how long does it take to be approved. It usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks. That's not saying it's going to be approved. We usually send you an email letting you know that if there's any changes you have to make, and then you'll email us back you'll send us back the resume with the changes that we said to make. But there's not a specific time frame that I could give you where it takes to be approved. Student is different, every resume is different. So it depends on the changes that we told you to make. I could definitely check your your account at the end of this because you said you've uploaded it. I could see if we've sent you any current correspondence to make any further changes. But it's not a week to look at your resume.
Okay, no problem. I just want to know if I like make the
But let me
changes.
interject. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You're
so I
breaking
just
up.
wanted. Oh, sorry. So can you hear me? I just wanted to know when I make the changes, do I need to send you back my resume or I can do it myself online?
You would have to upload it back to the site.
Okay, so that's what I did. I sent you my resume once, like 2 or 3 months ago. So you made
Hmm.
some changes. You gave me some recommendation. So I did
Hmm.
those recommendation and I uploaded the resume online. But several times it always said like it's pending. So that's why I just wanted to know how long like it takes or to be approved.
Okay, let me answer that, Ms. Chesney. Let me answer that. It's going to be immediately upon, we're going to make it happen because
Oh,
in the past, it might have taken a lot longer because we were on campus and we got lots and lots of resumes. But right now, the number of resumes coming in are not nearly as many as they have been. So I'll make sure that my staff is instructed to make that happen this week. Okay?
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So, we're now at 12:52. Zach, do you have any last minute comments? Because, you're our guest and we want to make sure that you've covered everything.
Uh, no true comments. Just if you have questions on LinkedIn profiles, feel free to connect with me. I'm happy to connect and discuss and help where I can.
Okay. And Vandana, anything else?
Oh, no. So thank you everyone for attending our webinar today.
I actually just wanted to make one more general comment, if I may. I don't
Sure.
know. Can you hear me?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. So I was just wanted to say for the students that are live with us today, I personally want to say thank you and look forward to hearing from you. But also, I ask that you guys act as brand ambassadors, if you will, for your college or career services, more importantly, and let your peer know that we're here, that we're virtual, that we're open, that we have opportunities, that we're still doing resumes. Uh, I would encourage you guys to take advantage of this time, even if internships don't is not on your agenda, or you're just looking for something to do. I mean, there's volunteering that you can do. There's training courses. Um, I heard that Harvard University is offering 36 free courses. This may be the time and the opportunity that you can maybe build your skills, if not in your own areas of interest, but other areas of interest. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say, and again, I look forward to hearing from you and hopefully seeing you guys on campus soon.
One other thing I would like to mention that I realized I did not. I also attended a webinar yesterday that was the Queens Borough Presidents, and they gave a whole list of jobs that are available, believe it or not, and some of them are at the airport, but they're in a lot of different industries. So we will also add that website for you to go on, because there were like city government and local agencies that were hiring. And I know for Queens, a lot of students don't like to leave Queens, unfortunately. I think that's unfortunate sometimes, but those jobs are more local and more vast than I've seen, you know, in recent months for just the Queens area. So make sure that you go through our list and you know, and check out some of those opportunities. Again, I want to thank all the panelists and Zach, of course, from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a wonderful resource. I'm a LinkedIn, you know, I'm registered with LinkedIn, and I get opportunities, and it's been a great opportunity to reconnect with people that, you know, that I've known for years, or new people. And, you know, as I move towards my next life, LinkedIn has become my best friend. Okay. All right. With that, I think we're done. And again, thank you all.
You're welcome.
All righty. Bye-bye.